Hello and welcome to the Programming in C++ series. In this video we're going to go over some more C++ labs in exercise or chapter 2, starting with exercise 2-9. Before we do, go ahead and smash the like button, leave a comment at the end, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you already subscribed, welcome back. If you have not yet, go ahead and subscribe. If you're unable to hit the like button, it means you're not logged in. And if you're not able to log in, you can create a YouTube account. It takes less than 1 minute and it is free. So take some time to do that so you can communicate on YouTube, share your views and your comments, and you can also subscribe to channels. And when you do subscribe to a channel, it makes it easier for you to navigate, and you can get notified whenever a new video is posted by the channel that you're subscribed to. All right, so with that said, let's look at what we'll be going into in our programming in C++. Programming exercise 2-9 is our first one in this video. And here we're going to write a program that prompts the user to enter 5 test scores and then print the average test score. Indicate the average test score by printing it to the terminal using the following format. Your average test score is X. Assume that the best scores are decimal numbers, or the test scores are decimal numbers. So the only task this one is test cases to verify correct output. Alright, so we'll go here and we'll go and write your main here. Everything else is already done for us. Let's make some more space and let's get started. Right down to line 7. So why do you do this? I'm going to put this here just for cosmetic purposes. So now let's do, so we got 5 tests, so let's do, they're going to be double because we want decimals in them. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, and test 5. And semicolon. Let's go double average. Next thing, didn't spell that right, but let's correct that. Should room to work. Double average. So now we want to go ahead and get these. Let's go enter 5 test scores. I'm ahead of myself. So next we're going to go test 1. Test 2. Test 3. Test 4. And test 5. Keep that open for now because we don't need to do that either. Alright. So test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5. Oh, it's too early for that. Do that next time. That's all we need for this one. Then we'll go to, that's all we need for this one also. Let's out, inline, and we're done with that. Now we'll do average. Remember, average is equal to test 1. So we're going to add all 5 of these. Test 2 plus test 3 plus test 4 down. Let's divide them because there's 5 of them. We'll divide it by 5. This is double, so let's go 5.0. There you have it. And now our output will be cancel out. Average test score. And that's going to average. And then inline. Alright, and then we already got our return 0. Everything looks good to go. So let's go ahead and run this right after we come back. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and enter 5 test scores. Let's do like this. I don't think this is correct. Okay, so it did go. Average test score is 87.69, so it did work. It's a weird output, or input, but it did go just as planned. So let's see if we calculate that and get what we attempted. And while that calculates, I'll show you the code so you can, from line 8 to line 18 is what we wrote. So just take your time and look at that. I'll move this over so you can see the whole thing. And we didn't get what we deserve or what we looked for. Let me check it out closer and see what I left out. Okay, I went around and looked inside what it said I missed. And it said your average test score is 10 and the program output wasn't found. Your average score is 3, wasn't found. And able to find, I don't know. But let's calculate it again. I did do some more calculations. I didn't change the code. I just went through and calculated some more to get 10s and 5s and do that. See if that worked. And I did make sure that my numbers were doubles. Let's see what we get. Strange one. Yep, still got 0. And what's it saying now? Test 3. Yeah, this is a strange one. I don't see the numbers. Alright, let me show you what I did. So in here, it's just 5 best test scores. It doesn't really give you anything. Your average test score is X. Assume the test scores are decimals. So what I did over here was I used all 3 decimal. All 5 of them are decimals. Average score is it's 3. Let's try one more thing. So let's go 90.0, 92.0, 85.0, 95.0, and 77.0. Score is 87.8. So we got that, and let's. All right, so yeah, I'm able to solve that one. Don't know what the problem is with that one. So what we'll do is I'll leave that there. After I go through the rest of them, I'll come back and I'll put it in the descriptions. If someone else finds it before me, you can put it in the comments. We would all appreciate that, and we'll check it, double check it. But when I get done, I'll try to solve it. And like I said, just check the comments, but you can complete the code and save it and move on to the next one as well. All right, thank you, and let's go on to our next exercise. All right, now we're on to programming the C++, programming exercise 2-10, and it's going to be very similar to the last one. Hopefully we have a breakthrough on that. So we're going to write a program that prompts the user to input 5 decimal numbers Add the 5 decimal numbers together and convert the sum to the nearest integer and print the result. All right, so correct output calculated and displayed. There's nothing there yet. So let's go and look at our code to see what we're to start with. And we have everything we need to start. So let's go ahead and get our cosmetics done. And here, some room to work with. Let's do it again with our double. This time we'll call them decimal 1, decimal 2, decimal 3, decimal 4, and decimal 5. And we got an integer. Call that number. And then let's do cancel out enter 5 decimal numbers. And let's go and cancel in. Decimal 1, decimal 2, decimal 3, decimal 4, decimal 5, and in it there. Let's go to number equals, so we're going to use our static casting and int. Let's go decimal 1 plus decimal 2 plus decimal 3. So again, get the average, you're going to add up all 5 of these. And divide by the total number, which is 5. Or it's going to do that automatically, so we're going to do plus to round it up, 0.5. So that's going to round them up to or down to the nearest decimal. Okay, and I'm going to check my output on that one. Count the sum the numbers to the nearest integer. So it's going to round it equals, and let's go to the next line. Finish it up. Return 0. So let's make sure I enter 5 decimal numbers. Sum of the numbers to the nearest integer. Alright, everything looks good for there. So let's try to run it. So decimal numbers 4.5, 3, 2, 3.7, 2.9, and 5.3. The sum of the numbers to the nearest integer equals 21. So now for the big one, calculate grade and see what we've done. You back to the code when it calculates. I think I need to check in my last one up. As long as you didn't. Alright, so alright. So that one's 100% task 01, correct. So that one's good to go. Let me take you back to the code in its entirety so you can take a look at that one. So just make sure you got the output, the sum of the numbers to the nearest integer spelled correctly and spaced right. That might have been an issue on 9.9, but I'll look at that. Alright, so now that that's done, let's go to our next one, but after this. Alright, after making a mistake on that exercise 2-9, or yeah, 2-10, went back to 2-9 and found out what I did, calculated it, got 100%, and got that green check. And all I did was I put average test score. It should say your average test score is. So within the parentheses, I didn't pay attention to details. So make sure you make that your average test score is on exercise 2-9 instead of your average score. So if you already got that figured out, great job. So now we're going to move on to the next exercise. All right, programming in C++. The next exercise is going to be programming exercise 2-11. And in this exercise, we're going to write a program that prompts the capacity in gallons of an automobile fuel tank and the miles per gallon. The automobile is estimated to offer, for example, the miles per gallon of car A is 25 miles. Output the number of miles the automobile can be driven without refueling. Run the code to test various user input values, then select the run task next to the task 1 below to run a final check. Correct output for test cases. All right, let's run through this. All right, we got our IO stream, our using namespace, and everything is already cosmetic for us this time. So let's go ahead and drop down, give ourselves some room to work. And let's go with start with double, since we're using decimals. And we'll go with fuel tank capacity. And double miles per gallon. And cancel out. Enter the fuel tank capacity in gallons. And then semicolon to the fuel tank capacity in gallons. And cancel N. Fuel tank capacity. Inline. Next, we'll go to enter the miles per gallon. That's when. Miles per gallon as well. It's in line. Enter miles per gallon. Enter fuel tank capacity. Gallons. All right. Next. Cancel out. Number of miles the car can be driven is make sure we get the correct input. Or output, I should say. Let's go. Fuel tank capacity. times miles per gallon. Like that. And the space for miles, period. Miles, period. And let's end that line. Alright. So we have, now we're good to go. Alright, so let's look at the code. Starting at line 8 all the way down to 21. Check our statements. Enter the miles per gallon. Enter the fuel tank capacity in gallons. The number of miles per hour can be driven is in miles. Alright, everything looks good, so let's go ahead and try to run it and see what the heck we got here. Alright, enter fairy tale. Let's go 18. 100 miles per gallon. Let's go 28. Number of miles the car can be driven is 504 miles. Let's go ahead and calculate that. Go back to our code. So if you're still working, if you didn't get something right for whatever reason, 8 to 21. Alright, so you can look at that while that calculates. And we got 100 correct output test cases. And then you can go ahead and submit that if you got 100. If not, continue to look at your code and see where you went wrong. Alright, so let's go on to the next exercise. Alright, now we're on programming in C++, programming exercise 2-12. And we're going to write a C++ program that prompts the user to input the elapsed time for an event in seconds, outputs the elapsed time in hours, minutes, and seconds. For example, if the elapsed time is 9,630 seconds, then the output format is 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 30 seconds. Correct output calculated and displayed. Alright, that's what we need for task 1. So let's go over. Alright, let's go first. Let's look at, since we're going to do constant, we'll do it up here. Constant integer, and let's call it seconds per hour, all caps. So to equal 3,600. So there's 3060 times 60 is 3,600. Next, another constant integer, seconds per minute. And that equals 60. Right, so we'll leave that there and let's go down here. Just some room to work with. And write your main. So let's start declaring our variables. Let's get our cosmetics together. This time we'll just go ahead and put them vertically. And seconds. So we got hours, minutes, and seconds, all integers. Now we're going to enter the elapsed time in seconds. And next, so we'll do seconds. And inline. So now let's go to next statement. The elapsed time in seconds equals seconds and inline. Okay. Hours equals seconds divided by seconds per hour. Come on that one. Then let's do seconds equal seconds percentage seconds per hour. Then we got minutes. They will equal seconds divided by seconds per minute. And finally, seconds equals seconds percentage seconds per minute. Now we'll cancel out. And let's go the equivalent time in hours, minutes, seconds. Equals, and then we'll go direct to the slide. So we'll go hours, minutes, seconds, and line. Let's bring this up a little bit. There we go. And that's our code. Let's take a closer look at it. On the top. All right, constant integer seconds per hour equals 3600. Constant integer seconds per minute equals 60. Then we go down to our variables are integers, hours, minutes, and seconds. Enter the elapsed time in seconds. The elapsed time in seconds. Hours equals seconds. Seconds per hour. Seconds. So hours, seconds. Okay. Equivalent time in hours, minutes, seconds. Hours, minutes, seconds. All right. So it looks like everything is up and ready to go. So let's run this. So 545.62. Enter. So that is time in hours, minutes, seconds equals 15 hours. That doesn't look good. I don't think that looks right. Did something wrong. Let's go back and look at that again real quick. Left out of my output. So after hours, put these here. hours, boom, after minutes. Put our colons in. And none after seconds. So after hours, after minutes, none after seconds. Let's run it again. Enter. Now we have 50, 45, 32. So that looks a lot better. So let's show you that again. Line 27. And let's calculate it while we are looking. Great, it's been calculated. Let's look at the code again. We swapped up 27 to add the colons, separators. This is where we started, line 4, line 5 and line 6, then line 11, and there's our grade. Alright, so let's go over 100%, and we got our green tasks. So that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next one right after this. So we're on the programming in C++, programming exercise 2-13, and we have a little work to do on this one. To make a profit, a local store marks up the prices of its items by a certain percentage. Write a C++ program that reads the original price of the item sold, the percentage of the marked up price, the sales tax. The program then outputs the original price of the item, the percentage of the markup, the store's selling price of the item, the sales tax rate, the sales tax, the final price of the item. The final price of the item is the selling price plus the sales tax. Since your program handles currency, make sure to use a data type that can store decimals. An example of this program is shown below. Enter the original price of the item 100, enter the marked up percentage 20, enter the sales tax rate 8. The original price is 100%, the price is marked up by 20%, selling price is $120. Rate the sales rate equals 8%, and the sales tax equals 9.6%. The final price is $129.60. Correct output calculated and displayed. So let's jump into our code and get started. So here, up here we're good on our include statements and using namespace. And let's get cosmetic here again. And let's make a little room to work. And start on line 7. Let's go double, since they're decimals or they're money. Original price. Double, marked up percentage 20%. And we got another double sales tax rate. And we got selling price. Final price. Let's check those real quick. Unless anything. Let's go sales tax. There we go. So we got 6 of those, 6 variables. They're all doubles. So now we'll start with our output. Enter the original price of the item. price. Autofill. And let's inline. Next. All right. Hey, why didn't you tell me I made that mistake? You gotta let me know. All right. Next, we'll go enter the marked up percentage. Marked up percentage. And cancel up. Let's end the line. All right. So next. Skip a space here. Let's go to selling price equals original price. Let's see, plus original price times marked up percentage. And divide that by 100. So you get the percentage. Right. Now we got sales tax equals selling price times sales tax rate divide that by 100, so for percentage. Then final price equals selling price plus sales tax. Right. So cancel out. The original price equals and of course original price. And then inline pros. Corrected. Now we go to our next cancel out line. Console. And let's try the price is marked up by percentage. Let's continue the line on this line. Let's go percentage sign in parentheses and inline. Alright, now we're skip backwards. Let's do our final counts outs. The selling price equals $, selling price, inline, and again, the sales rate equals percentage, percentage, my sales rate, my sales rate, okay, I don't have sales rate, okay, I'm gonna make it here, all right, let's go. $sign for sales rate, and let's go with the sales tax. Copy and paste this time. Save us some more time. Sales tax equals $sign goes here. Sales tax rate. Sales tax rate. Oops, no. Sales rate. What am I doing? So, sales tax rate and sales tax. And there's no percentage for sales tax here. There we go. That's how that looks when we get done playing with it. And we'll type out the final one. Give you a break on that one. So, the final price $2. Alright, so let's look at this gap, control minus, see the whole thing. Alright, go to the top, we declared our variables, original price, marked up price, percentage, double sales tax rate, another double selling price, or all doubles, sales tax and final price. So we're going to enter the original price of the item. Original price inline. Enter the marked up percentage inline. Then we got where's my sales tax at? Marked up percentage. So I don't have sales tax rate. That's why. What more allowed to do? Cancel out. Enter the sales tax rate. And there's nothing there. And sales tax rate. that should sales tax rate. All right, enters the sales tax rate in line. Then we got selling price equals original price plus original price times marked up percentage, and we're going to divide that by 100 so we can convert it into a percentage. Sales tax equals selling price times sales tax rate divided by 100. Again, we're going to get a percentage for the sales tax rate or the sales tax. Okay. Final price is going to equal selling price plus sales tax. And then for our output statements, the original price equals $ original price in line. The price is marked up by marked up percentage in line. And then this the selling price $ selling price, and then the sales rate equals sales tax rate. Sales rate equals sales tax rate, and then the sales tax equals $ sales tax, and then the final price equals $ final price. All right, so that looks good. Looks like we should be able to run this and get this one to our liking. $128. So we got 120%, $120, 8%, 9.6, and 129.6. So that one worked out great. Let's go ahead and get the calculate grade going. Move these over so you can still see that if you're working with it. We'll take you to the bottom part. I'll look for our grade to be calculated. Actually, let's do the whole thing. Here to line 25. If you're still working on line 8 between 8 and 25, go ahead and pause it. Now, there's the rest of it. As you see, we did get our 100% and we got our green check for this one. So we'll go on to the next one right after these.